Hello, welcome to the tutorial on how to create a circle map. Today I'm going to show you how to make the circle map using Google Documents. However, the process is pretty similar if you're using Microsoft Word. So first we're going to start by making shapes. And what I've already done is I've gone to the shape tool and I'm using Google Draw, which is where you'll be taken to. And I've made a couple of circles. So I have an inner circle and an outer circle. In this inner circle, this is where you put the title of the circle map. So in your case, you're talking about what life is like as a refugee. I'm not going to make the same circle map as you, so that mine is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to create mine on zombie movies. All right, so your circle map is about refugees. Mine's about zombie movies. And this inner circle is just where we put our title. That's the only thing that goes there. The outer circle, the bigger circle, is where we're going to put our ideas. After you've watched the videos and you've read the stories, you're going to brainstorm and summarize ideas from those movies that describe what life as a refugee is like. You can do this by using quotes from the videos or stories, or by summarizing information. It's very important that you cite the source that you're getting the information from. So after you put your quote, you would put the video or the name of the author or speaker. If you're summarizing information, you would also put the video. So you could say, according to such and such video, life as a refugee is, and then you put your information after that. You're just making sure that you reference the source that it came from. That's all. So in my example of zombie movies, I might put some ideas about typical zombie movies. I've watched a few of them. So I might say there's usually a victim, somebody that's being chased. I could say there's usually a virus outbreak. I could add that zombies are usually unintelligent. And I could go on. Now, obviously, if I were taking these, I'm brainstorming off the top of my head, but if I were taking these from videos or stories, after I would want to make some sort of citation. So the virus outbreak, that example is specifically taken from the movie I Am Legend. So I could write I Am Legend after that. And that's a simple way to cite. You could also say, according to, if there's a person who said it, this is another good way to cite. According to, and then you put their name, and you've just cited the source. And this isn't the entire way to cite, but for the purpose of what we're doing, this is all you need to do for now. Now, once you have this whole circle filled in, and you can put a lot of ideas in here because these text boxes, they can be moved around and resized so that you can fit lots of information in. And don't worry about the font size, because once you take the screenshot of this, I'll be able to zoom in and make things larger. So if the font size looks small, don't worry about it. All right, so after you have that circle filled in, then you have this outer square. And this is where you're going to put a list of how all the refugee stories were similar. And this is done after you've gone through the videos and the stories, and then the second part of it where you go through the interactive websites. And you're just going to put ideas about similar thoughts, similar feelings, actions, or similar experiences that you noticed certain survivors or victims had. as you watched those videos or read the stories. And to do this, you'd use the same process. You'd take a text box, draw it on there, and you'd type in your ideas. So I might compare, in my example, let's say I watched I Am Legend and I watched Zombieland. I might compare how those two movies were similar in this area, just as you would be comparing how your refugee stories are similar. So I might say in Zombieland and I Am Legend, all survivors were isolated. There. And I'd come up with other similar ideas. And again, you want to have a few of these. You have lots of space and you want to fill in the space. So try and think of multiple ideas on how the survivor stories were similar, or their experiences were similar, or the emotions they felt were similar. And that is how you make a circle map. Once you have this completed, save it in your drive if you have the Google account, or if you're using Microsoft Word, save that. And I want you to turn this in by taking a screenshot. And if you're using a PC, you can easily take a screenshot by going to your start bar. I can't show you how to do this, unfortunately. Go to Start, All Programs, open up Accessories, which is a folder, and there's a snipping tool. And you select the snipping tool, you press New, and it will allow you to take a screenshot. And you can save that and turn that in Blackboard.